Is it filming? It's
Yeah.
filming.
Those are like our top 5 reasons for why we want to build a tiny house and why we're going tiny. I love you.
Me too.
Give me every time.
I wonder if they can hear us though. I think we're far away.
I think it can hear us. I hope so.
Can you guys hear us?
Hear
Should we
us.
bring them a little closer?
I guess I'm moving the camera.
Please be careful, please be careful, please be careful. A little more. Let's just get like close. Yeah.
How's it going, everybody?
Alright guys, well welcome to today's video. We couldn't build the last couple days. Well, today is Sunday.
I needed some sleep. Sorry.
And it was raining. It really was.
It was.
Because we're washed out.
You're washed out.
We're washed out.
You're washed out. How does your color look now?
Still pretty washed out.
You're pretty washed out. Hello, camera.
So today we wanted to talk about why we want to build a tiny house. So start talking.
Really, there are a bunch of reasons. The biggest one for me is financially. It just makes a lot more sense to invest, you know, $20,000 to $30,000 into building our own house now and having something to show for it at the end than renting an apartment, because we're going to be bouncing around a lot for my school. I have 2 years left of my undergrad and then 3 years of law school, all probably at different spots. So it's 5 years of apartments.
And debt. He's going to be putting us in a ton of debt.
So it makes a lot more financial sense to invest $20,000 to $30,000, have something to show for it, and be able to take it with us rather than spending $50,000 or more if we live somewhere like Santa Barbara with 5 years of renting either rooms in an apartment or a house. And this allows us to have space to ourselves. This would kind of be our own space. We're the only people living in it.
That's reason 2. That's the second reason.
Oh, I guess this is reason 2. That this allows us to have our own space. We're the only people living in it, whereas if we are renting for even more money than this is costing us per month, an apartment or a house, we're gonna have to be sharing that with other people, which is fine, but it's always nice to have your own space as well.
I think that's like a huge thing for me. Is like, I just finished college 2 years ago, and not only have I been moving around every year, I have to move somewhere different. So it's a big thing for me is like taking our house with us wherever we go. And yeah, I'm honestly just done sharing besides with babes. But like, roommates are great like for a certain point in your life, but I feel like I'm just kind of over that time and I just want my own stuff, my own space, and to have everything like know exactly where it is and just how I kind of want it. So that's one of my biggest reasons why I wanted to go tiny, is to have my own kitchen. My own stuff,
man.
my own measuring cups and measuring spoons. What else, folks? The fourth reason for us, Michael too, but mainly like I've been thinking about this for so long, is for the environment. So I just kind of want to have like a smaller footprint on this earth, and I don't want wasted materials. What's another word for use?
Use is good.
Oh. I don't want to use so much water and electricity, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So if we build our own house and eventually we're gonna have solar.
Eventually, we'll
no,
see.
probably from the start.
We'll see.
So we're gonna have solar, and we kind of want to set the house up where eventually one day, if we do want to and if we're in the right spot, we can use like a water irrigation system and store our own water and just use that. But living in Southern California, that's really hard to do because
there's no rain.
There's no rain and no water. Yeah, so I mean, obviously we're so lucky to live here, but that's one of the downfalls, is that water is so scarce here and it just doesn't rain enough for us to be able to collect enough water to use throughout our time living in the tiny house. So we're gonna have to plug in for a little bit before we get the solar up and running, and then we're gonna have to use water, which we're probably just gonna have a spigot.
Yeah, like just like a general hose spigot is gonna give us enough water pressure to have enough for the whole house. So
yeah, and that's
exactly,
yeah, that's part of the environment. We don't need a lot, and that's like the biggest thing for me. Also, I don't know if you guys knew, but I'm vegan and Michael is vegetarian, and it's just a huge thing to me to use as many like plant-based materials that we can. So like our insulation, like we're going to be using cellulose fiber, and that's all plant-based and recycled. Our foam board insulations were recycled. We're trying to use like as much recycled material as we can, given that we do want our house to have like an aesthetic, like a really nice look to it as well. So we're trying to balance it out as well as we can. But the environment is a huge thing, and I'm super excited because I feel like we'll be having a smaller footprint on this earth.
Another big one for me personally is I just like to build things and create things.
Number 5.
Number 5, build.
Building it ourselves. Yeah.
So I really enjoy building and creating things, and designing things is another big part of that. So really having this whole project to just kind of take from nothing and completely design every step of the way, learning about everything, how to do everything, all the hardware, the framing, the electrical, the plumbing, everything's, I'm super excited for all of it. And I've had
I'm a little stressed.
Yeah, but it's alright, I got it. I've had electrical experience, so that's pretty much it. So everything else I'm just kind of learning on the fly, and just more skills that I'm acquiring and more fun I get to have just creating a house for us out of nothing.
Yeah, and I think like part of that is just the fact that we are doing this together. Like we might get a little bit of help, some family and friends, which is amazing, but like Michael and I are building this with our 2 hands. Like we're just 4 hands.
2 hands each.
2 hands each. But we're building it with our own hands, and like he said, like designing it from the start and sketching it up and just getting the materials, and every single part of it we're doing together, and we're doing it on our own. And like how cool is it gonna be when it's all done and we're just like sitting in our house knowing that we built this ourselves.
I know where everything is.
I think the designing process too is so cool. Like we can put in whatever we need, take out whatever we don't need. Like a kitchen is a really big thing for me. So like a big part of our space is gonna be our kitchen.
It's like
and
half our house.
Well, yeah, pretty
ridiculous.
But like we can do that because we're building it ourselves. And you get a desk. He's getting a really cool like video game desk, and like you're gonna build that yourself and like design that
Building
yourself.
and designing my own desk. So
yeah.
That's my space now.
No chair.
No, I'm getting a chair.
I love you.
Wrapping it up.
So yeah, those are like our top 5 reasons for why we want to build a tiny house and why we're going tiny. Also, just so you guys know, like right now we are renting out a room in a house. Thanks. So our space, like we have a beautiful like outdoor space, and like it is a whole house, but like we are living in one room, so I feel like we're
probably gonna gain some space in the tiny house personally, actually.
Yeah, and like we found out a while ago, even when we were living in Amsterdam, we found out that just space, we don't need that much of it. Our clothes are pretty small, the amount that we have, and we both really like being outdoors. So that's why I just think that going tiny is perfect for us. We're super excited about it. I just can't wait until we are finally living in our very own tiny house. So yeah guys, those are our top reasons. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments below. We will get back building super soon on Monday, so look forward to another video then. Alright, thanks guys, bye!
Bye.